You're listening to Podketeers.
Welcome to episode 420 of Podketeers. This week we talk about creative musicians and songs that might get you out of the upside down or maybe help you escape Hades in the Underworld. The Splash Mountain re-theme finally gets a name, Mjolnir gets a popcorn bucket, and how did the Minions opening compare to Lightyear's? As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts on things that we talk about in this episode. You can join the conversation on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Just search for Podketeers. But if you haven't yet joined us, we'd love for you to join our community on Discord. Joining the community is super simple. Just head over to the blog post for this episode at podketeers.com/420 and click on the Discord logo, or you can click in the link in our pinned IG story. A very special thank you goes out to an awesome group of people known as the FGP Squad, our podcast Fairy Godparents, because it's their support via Patreon that help make these episodes of Podketeers possible. As part of the FGP Squad family, you get some additional perks like exclusive discount codes for Podketeers gear, additional content like the Podketeers After Show, and access to our happy hour calls, just to name a few. For more info on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, we invite you to check out podketeers.com/FGP. And as always, a super special thank you goes out to the FGP Squad for their continued support. All right, so it is time to get this episode rolling. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope that you enjoyed the episode and that you come back for more. And of course, if you've been hanging with us for some time now, welcome back, friends. Here is episode 420 of Podketeers. Nailed it.
Sorry it took me so long to get on. I was stuck playing Animal Crossing, and you guys have been a bad influence to me.
Sounds like someone's addicted.
I was trying.
You're welcome.
We record here kind of late, and I gotta sell all these stupid shells I found on the beach before the Nook place, or whatever it's called, Nook's Cranny, closes for the day. So I got to get those sold. And you know what? Bells were at a good price today. Or not bells. I don't know what I'm talking about. Turnips were at a good price today. I had 500 and something bells for turnip. So
They were 500 plus?
Yeah, 500 and something. So I made
Dude, that is rare.
Yeah,
That is.
I bought 100 or 1,000 turnips, or 100. So I made 53,000 bells on turnips today. So that was
heck yeah.
That
dude.
was cool. You know what? I'm getting the hang of this. So something, I guess. I don't know. So that's why I was late.
Listen, let me ask you a question. So you came into the Animal Crossing foray quite a bit late.
Yes,
a lot
very
later
late.
than a lot of us did, right?
Very much
But as you are playing, do you have a sense of calm, or does it help you relax while you're playing at all?
I don't know. I have a good time, and that's, it's very much the kind of game that I think like works well with me. I want to like get stuff done, and just to like, okay, I can pick up all these things and sell it, and then go get stuff, and then upgrade my house, and that's all fun. And so, and like I said before, my wife is the like in charge of the island, and I just live there, so I don't get to do any of the like expensive things like invite people over, build a bridge, or anything. So I just get to like go fishing and sell things and get skeletons and put them in a closet or whatever. I don't know what happens. And
we should make you a little sign to put in front of your house that says "Gone Fishing."
Gone fishing. I just upgraded my house 5,000 bells. Now I got a new roof. You know
nice.
what? I got a attic now.
Living the good
I only
life.
got one more and need a basement, and then I'll fully expand it. But that, what is it, 1.2 million for this expansion? That's a lot.
Yep.
But whatever. It'll be fine.
Well, look, as long as you're having a good time, as long as it's relaxing or anything like that, it's fine.
It's
right?
fine.
Doesn't matter
It's
when you
whatever.
pick up the game. It's a good way to pass the time. I used it a lot to unwind. It kept me, I'll say it kept me sane, right? For a lot of,
here.
the time that we were at home. But And even we jumped on the bandwagon quite late, only because if you remember, the very first year of the pandemic, it was sold out everywhere.
Yeah,
And it
we
wasn't
had to
just the
wait.
game, it was the system. So when they made the game available digitally, it's not like you could just get the game either, because the systems were sold out. And at the
Yeah.
time, we didn't have one. So I get it, man. I'm glad that you're having fun with it. At one point, you're going to look at your time spent on it, and a part of you is going to be a little afraid when you're like, what, I spent over 1,000 hours playing this game? And then another part of you is going to be like, yeah, I've played a lot. And,
Well, that's-
my island looks pretty awesome.
When when we became friends on the Nintendo thing, you could see how many hours Heyzen and Melissa have put in on Animal Crossing.
I ain't
It is-
ashamed.
It's quite a few.
I just like 2 or 3. It's like,
Hey.
not that much.
Not that much at all. You know
No,
what?
not that much at all.
A little here, a little there.
Yeah.
I was telling Andrew that I'm like, oh, come over. I have stuff, take whatever. It's all good. But I'm like, I'm still working on some things. My island is always progress. It's like Disneyland. It never just stops. Like, I'm constantly changing it. So, add some
kinda
more
the same.
hours.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to
I'm at-
Melissa, I have a farm now, so
Nice. I'm at the point where I want to level my island and start from scratch. Not
tempting.
restart the game, because I don't want to go through everything Andrew's going through right now. I mean, just like kick everyone off the island, level it, and then just start from scratch and see what I can come up with.
They should come up with an expansion and be like, all right, you want to do another one? Okay, here's another island. Here's your the Happy Home Academy, but for yourself. Here's your vacation island.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that, because when Happy Home Academy was announced, the rumors that were going around had nothing to do with Happy Home Academy. They all had to do with the possibility of getting another island or expanding your island so that it was twice the size of the current island that you
Oh,
have
jeez,
somehow.
yeah.
And a bunch of people got excited over it. They're like, yeah, we're finally going to be able to do more with the island. We can start over. We don't have to reset the game or anything. And then we got Happy Home Academy. Still, I think a lot of people have had fun playing that, expansion pack, and a lot of people have gotten a lot out of it. They got a whole bunch of new stuff that they could decorate their islands with. But, yeah, I think it was disappointing that, it was the last major update to the game. And so at this point, now there's either going to be a new version of the game that's going to come out within the next year or so, or we don't get any more Animal Crossing games. I don't know what's on the horizon for this one. It's definitely not a new one, but we'll see. Have your feeds been bombarded with Stranger Things theories and videos and all sorts of posts?
I hear from you guys.
Yeah, I you know what? I still haven't gotten caught up. I'm still at the same episode we recorded last time, so I'm episode 3 or whatever. We just have had time. My wife has been sick. Nothing too dire, but it's just kind of loss of energy, not COVID or anything, but it's so we've not really watched any caught up on anything. So it's been
So you still don't know the ending?
No, I still don't know what happened. I'm on 3.
No.
That's not oh no. It's not oh no.
Well, it's oh no for me, because I think I've sent you memes that talk about the ending.
Well,
and now
I
feel like a jerk.
Well, I'm oblivious to
Yeah.
them, so it's whatever. I don't even remember. I just won't go back in the
Okay.
text messages. It'll be fine.
Where are you on this, Mel? Have you
I
finished?
haven't started.
Oh, but you've been
But it's okay.
super busy with. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh, I
I'm
need to stop
totally
then.
fine.
I need to stop sending you guys that stuff. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Have you? Oh, jeez. Okay.
And what about
Look.
the musical episode? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, the musical episode was great. It was just like Rogers the Musical, but it was like Stranger Things the musical.
And then
now
episode
featuring the Demogorgon.
And then episode
Ah.
11, they go to Walt Disney World.
No, that's in episode 12.
Oh, okay, sorry. I haven't
Yeah,
got
like
there
every
yet.
good ABC comedy, they go to Disney World for one of the episodes in
The
season 3.
Demogorgon plays. It has to be Indiana Jones in the stunt show at Hollywood Studios.
You
And
should have seen the talking to that the Demogorgon got from Mr. Feeney when he wasn't doing his homework. Oh, it was crazy.
Mike gets picked at I don't know what's it, Monsters Inc. laugh floor and is the I don't know Walt Disney
All
World
of
stuff.
them.
They always go to Walt Disney
all
World.
all the scenarios that happen in all of the TV.
11 gets
tropes.
a Dole Whip, but then it gets knocked out of her hand, and then I don't know.
Yeah, it's been nothing but Stranger Things, and there have been. I want to talk about the new account. I'm gonna wait because it's a funny account, and I will tell you about it later. But they released this thing on Spotify where. And it's so hard for me. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna talk about
That's fine.
Go
It's not like
ahead.
major plot details, but
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's
like
not major plot
exactly.
details.
To get
but-
I
out
will probably
of-
forget
yeah.
and watch it later. No
It's-
worries.
Yeah.
Fine.
So in season one, Will gets there's a lot of theories and everything that are talked a little bit more about, but he gets out of the upside down by singing to himself. He was
Oh.
introduced to a couple of songs, and Should I Stay or Should I Go was the primary song that revolved around that first season because his brother had shown it to him. He fell in love with it, right? So he would sing it to himself constantly when he was in the upside down. It's how he learned to communicate with his mom. It's how he learned to communicate with everyone else to eventually get out of the upside down. And so now there's this whole thing like, well, what song would get you out of the upside down, right? And it was such a big thing that Spotify decided to use their AI to generate a list for you where if you go into Spotify and you search for upside down playlist, it will generate a list of songs that it believes will get you out of the upside down. I don't think it's a permanent list though.
You can favorite it.
Yeah, but even if you favorite it, I think if you close Spotify, it regenerates into something different.
Well,
That makes sense.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
If
look.
you listen to something else.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
look.
because I went back to,
It's different.
yeah. I thought it was going to keep the list, how it generated for you. Because you know how they do the rewind and it kind of gives you all your top
Yeah.
songs and stuff? I thought it was similar to rewind. But it's not because I reloaded mine and there was at least 3 songs on here that I didn't remember seeing the first time around. And I looked through the rest of the list and there's way more stuff on here that wasn't. There's a lot of duplicates from the first time
My
around.
second list is better.
Yeah, my second list is better too. My second list was way better. So, anyway, if you have Spotify,
Yeah. What's
if
your
you're a
top
fan of
song?
Stranger Things,
What's
my
your
top
the top song on your or when you check right now or when you have screenshot?
believe it or not, it was the top song on both times that I ran it. It's Mint Car by The Cure.
Oh, nice.
Mine is
yeah.
Mine is Roundabout by Yes. Most people probably don't know that song.
Interesting.
But my next song is the YMCA, so there you go.
Nice.
Wait, what was your next one?
YMCA.
Oh, nice. Nice. It's a good song, man.
What do you got, Melissa?
I got Muse's Supermassive Black Hole,
Nice.
which would do it for me. And then
Nice.
Will and Elizabeth from Klaus Badette from the Pirates soundtrack. So,
Very cool.
because I listen to that soundtrack all the time. So, yeah,
Let's see. What
that would
else?
get me out.
Is there
I
anything?
have Muse on mine too, but I have Uprising.
I got the Muppet Show theme song on here.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, so here's mine. I'm gonna give you the 10. So 2,
Okay.
4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. Oh,
This is
I guess
fun.
I'll say
Let's do-
11 because I guess it's gonna make sense. But so here's my top 10 starting at number 1. So it's Mint Car by The Cure, Plowed by Sponge, All the Small Things, Blink-182, Suelta las riendas de mi corazón, which is a Spanish rock Miquel Erensun song. Champagne Supernova by Oasis, Tonight
Nice.
but the Passion Pit version, Denial by We Are Harlot, Let Me Love You by Neo, Heroes by Alesso, Monkey Wrench Foo Fighters, and 11 I think is an honorable mention simply because it ties in. It's Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush.
Nice.
All right, I got to do this. Okay, here's mine because mine's very different than yours. So Roundabout by Yes, YMCA The Village People, Twilight Zone by Golden Earring, Some Kind of Wonderful by Grand Funk Railroad, Back in the Saddle Aerosmith, Bust a Move Young MC, It Ain't No Fun to Me Larry Graham and the Graham Central Station, which is a song I've never heard before. So Oh no, I lied. I know that song. I changed my mind. I know what that song is. Big Time Operator by Big Voodoo Daddy. Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. A Bad Motor Scooter by Montrose. And then 11 is the Muppet Show theme.
Nice.
So it's an interesting compilation for sure. All right, Melissa, you go. 10.
Okay, so start with Supermassive Black Hole by Muse, Will and Elizabeth by Klaus Badelt, Living Island by Pogo, Apocalyptic by Three Lau, which is someone I just randomly listen to. I Want to Be Like You by Jetta, Dinner is Served by Hans Zimmer, Master of Puppets by Metallica.
That's on my list somewhere too.
Can't Get You Out of My Head, Kylie Minogue, Human After All, Daft Punk, and then Animal Crossing Bubblegum Pop.
Nice. Nice.
So there you go.
Whose version of I Want to Be Like You did you have?
Jetta. It's Jet, but with an A at the end.
Oh, I gotta listen to that version.
With an A.
I have I Want to Be Like You, but it's Robbie Williams' version.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, this is fun. I don't know if I'm happy that it changes. I guess maybe. Because
maybe
I mean,
depending
if I
on
go,
what you listen to?
well, the thing, I mean, look, my music taste is so eclectic that, like, if I read, like, look, so I don't know if any of you know who Alex Melton is, but I found out about him through, like, social media posts. I think I found him on TikTok. But what Alex Melton does is he takes popular songs and he makes them, like, country versions. And some of them are actually quite good. And one of the songs that he countrified, which is kind of what brought me onto him, is a song called Shake It by Metro Station. And so Shake It by Alex Melton is next, which is right after Kate Bush. But then it goes Rainbow Connection by Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, Rock You Like a Hurricane by the Scorpions, Goodbye by the Spice Girls, Dilemma by Off Dream, Sheesh by Surfaces, the MSEP Parade from the Deconstructed album.
Nice.
Break Free by Ariana Grande. Excuse Me, Mr. No Doubt. I'm surprised that I didn't have more Taylor Swift on here. Like,
oh
it's
my
pretty
gosh,
insane.
Yes.
Like my first one had New Romantics.
Sometimes.
I know. My first list had and look, I don't know if you could see it, but look, Master of Puppets right there.
Nice.
There you go.
Master of Puppets right there. So one, Spotify don't know me worth jack because Metallica would not be on my playlist. Like, I get it. It's in the show. And I know people are like, whoa, Metallica's so great. Look, I know what they did to me with Napster all those years ago, okay? Never forget the Napster fiasco.
Thanks, Lars.
Exactly. So Spotify don't know me worth jack if they're putting Metallica on my playlist. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. There was at least 8 songs that were new to me in my first list. And if you look through it, it'll show you the ones that you don't have on any playlist, like, to introduce you to new music. And on the new list, I have about 9 songs that I don't have on any playlist. And of those 9, I think I liked like 4 or 5 of them that I'll probably end up putting on some kind of playlist later.
You know what? I'm surprised there isn't any Danny Elfman. That's a fail. And I listen to his stuff like all the time.
If you regenerate it in a day or two, I wonder if there will be.
Because I was like, wait a minute. I just read everything. I listened to majority of that in Animal Crossing, so.
The funny thing is, you know what the funny thing is? Like, so like the Spice Girls, that Goodbye song, it's on my playlist, right? But I probably listened to Two Become One like 800 times over this one. So I don't know why this one even showed up on here. Maybe there's a bunch of stuff that it's trying to tell you, like, hey, these are lonely. Listen to these songs a little bit more. But like,
give them some love.
Yeah, but like Ariana Grande and No Doubt, I listen to frequently. So I don't know. I don't know what the AI is telling me with this, but it's fun. I wish they had like a Disney version of this, and it was like, if Hades took you to the Underworld, what would be the Disney songs that would pull you out?
The merry-go-round broke down.
Maybe that's a fun a thing we can put on Discord. We'll ask the question this week if Hades pulled you into the underworld, what would be the 3 to 5 songs that would pull you out, similar to getting pulled out of the Upside Down on Stranger Things? And if we put it on Instagram stories, we'd love for you to play along, tell us what your songs are, and we can share some of our favorites in an upcoming episode. Hey, speaking of music, this Clangphonics band that you sent us, Mel, one, how did you find them, and tell us more about them?
Here we go. I like to roam Reddit and just look at different things and find, like, I go on there. I don't go really looking for something. If something pops up and I see it, I'm going to click, I'm going to look. And what I saw was, I'm going to describe what I saw before even knowing what was happening or what was going to happen. So I see 3 guys. One is wearing kitchen gloves. One is on the floor. Oh, sorry. The one with the kitchen gloves has a spray bottle. The one on the floor has a bucket and a vacuum. And there's one sitting down behind them with a little ukulele. Looks cute. I was like, all right, this is cool. I want to see what's happening because, you know, we went through the whole pandemic where everybody was getting creative, right? So I'm curious. I want to see this. Click on it. Oh, the emoji of my head being mind blown because these people created electronic music, like just music, synth music, house music, whatever you want to call it. It just gave me, again, I'm going to go back to it. It just gave me Daft Punk vibes. Like, you just want that kind of music. So if you're into like electronic music, EDM, trance, house, deep house, whatever, everything that's under that umbrella, these guys are awesome because you get to hear like little snippets and it's like, I want more. And they even have one that's in an office with office supplies and machines and create beautiful music. I'm like, oh my God, you guys, we got to talk about this because this is awesome stuff, you know? It's brilliant. It's brains. Just, it's fun. It is totally fun.
Yeah.
And they do tour, but they don't tour here yet.
I'm sure they will after this.
I hope so.
If they made it on Reddit, they're going to blow up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. They're on Instagram. I don't know if they're on TikTok, but I'm sure that, you know, little by little, they're going to start to appear on TV shows. They're going to start to gain some traction. And then people are going to want to see them, you know, in the States. But when you sent me that picture, like, I went over and I started looking. I'm like, what is this vacuum? What is happening here? Like, and then I listened to it and I was like, okay, wait a second. This is awesome.
Right. It's like this wasn't like how it played in my head when I first saw it. And then it's like it just got better.
Yeah.
And then if you keep going, there's like some other clips that they have. Oh, there's one from March 17th, and that one blows my mind. That one's fun. And I think it's like a little snippet of a minute or something. But yeah, I think people need to check them out.
Yeah. We'll take the video and we'll figure out a way to embed it on Discord so people can see it. Because it's worth watching. I mean, even if you don't like that type of music, I think you can appreciate how they put it together because it's so creative. I love when bands do stuff like this. Like, I love when they can just take anything and just, I don't know, like, I wish I had that capacity musically.
Yeah.
I think
it's a
we
skill.
talked about, I think we talked about them a couple years ago, but there's a band they're from Sweden. They're called Winter Gatan or something like that. And this guy built this machine with marbles, and he's like cranking it. Yeah. And the marbles fall, and they create this amazing music.
Yeah.
I'm like, how? Why don't I have a 3D printer? Nothing to do with this conversation, but I want a 3D printer. You don't understand how much I want one. But, I mean, anytime that, you know, any band puts something like this together, it blows my mind how creative they are. Guys like Charlie Puth, who have like this pitch perfect ear and can listen to any sound in the world. And they'll send them like a swing from a park, and they'll be like, ee, ee, and they'll be like, okay, well, what notes for that? And he's like, oh, well, that's a blah 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 sharp and a blah blah blah
I
flat.
love
And it's like,
that.
and this and this. I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Like you could just deconstruct everything in your head.
I know.
That's amazing.
But I bet it's also a bit of a curse, though, right? Because if you look at the world like that, like, can you turn it off?
Yeah, I want to say yeah.
I should
'Cause
ask them that on
sometimes-
Twitter
You
or
should
on
ask.
TikTok. I'll be like, yo, Charlie, can you turn this off? Do you hear everything in notes? Does it allow you to sleep at night?
Wait, you just got a Mitch Hedberg.
I don't even know why that came out like that, but I guess it did.
It reminded me the video you sent me. I sent you guys the link of this video that's been saved in my Facebook for I don't know how long. Let's see, I can tell you. Oh, it's from 2019, so not too long. But it's this French group, guy and friends. I don't know. I'm gonna butcher his name. Maybe Atelier de Lutherie Macacal.
Nailed
Hey,
it.
you tried.
Nailed
You
it.
tried.
Nailed it.
Anyway,
You got it. I'm sure that's how they pronounce it. That's their given.
That's the French. Yes, that's the perfect French. Anyway, it's either a French guy and his friends or a French group. And they did a cover of Hey Ya by was it Outcast?
Yes.
With like just like found stuff. They use like a grill with hamburgers and like garbage can and like air pumps and different things, wine bottles. So the whole video description is in French, and I can't figure out if this is on YouTube, but I'm gonna see if I can find it somewhere to put it because it's very catchy and I like to listen to it every once in a while. And so, yeah, that reminded me of that, and hopefully I can get that on there. It also reminds me of I was watching, since I have this platform right now, I'm going to ask people, and maybe they'll be able to help me. Probably 15 years ago, I was watching The Late Show with David Letterman, and he had a guy on that played Wipeout on a homemade instrument. It was like a big, long string with like a fan or a mixer that plucked the string, and then he used a paint roller or something to change the notes. This is on David Letterman like 15 years ago. If anybody knows what that guy was called, this video has been like, it's been sitting in my brain for this long, and I cannot find it anywhere on the internet, and it makes me so mad. And if anybody knows who this guy is or knows this video or something, let me know. Because I would love to find that video as well. I like homemade instruments. It's fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I feel like I'm going to be on the quest for this video.
Same here. I'm like, I know that feeling of you can't figure out, you can't remember, and it's right there in your head.
I mean,
and you can't get it out.
I can watch it in my brain. I know exactly. I can like replay the whole thing. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what the guy's name is or anything. So that's fun.
Okay. I'm going to go back and I'm going to look for it. But I know how you're feeling because this week I had a very similar moment. Strap in, kids, because we're going into Grandpa Heyzen mode.
Back in my day.
Exactly. So back in my day, we used to have these things called CD players.
Ooh.
And we used to carry them around, listen to music. And we had these companies named Columbia House and BMG. And, they would trap you by selling you 12 CDs for a penny, a 13th CD for $1.99 plus shipping. And then you would make up a name and get more CDs after.
Yep.
And so they went out of business because too many people did that. But when I first started really exploring music, I had all sorts of different. When I first signed up, it was cassette tapes, by the way. It wasn't even like CDs yet. And then it kind of migrated to CDs. And so we used to carry these portfolios like chock full of discs, right? Like they ranged from anywhere from like 10 discs to 200 to 300 discs at a time. And it was insane. Like, it was just part of your thing to carry this around. And then the miracle of MP3s happened, and ripping CDs. If you've ever heard that term, children, ripping CDs, it doesn't mean you're tearing them. It means you would pop them into a CD drive into your computer, and you would copy the music and put them you would burn the disc. Like, it doesn't mean fire. You would physically burn them onto the disc. I know, weird ways to say it. Anyway, so we had these like discs, right? Then they started making radios for the car that played MP3s from these CDs, and all of a sudden your 200 disc collection became like a 20 disc collection because you had all your favorite MP3s on like 20 burned discs or something, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's what happened. So every so often I listen to a song in my Spotify playlist. Like now it's easy because for the most part, anything that I look for is on Spotify. I mean, there's very few songs that that I haven't been able to find. Yes, I'm looking at you, Carrie Underwood, and whatever happened to Ever After, it's got to be back on Spotify. That's another story, though. So the thing was that because they were the same songs, you kind of like developed this weird muscle memory of you would listen to 10 tracks in, and then now I'll think of, like, I'll listen to whatever the 10th song was on one of those CDs, and in my head I think, oh, I know what song is coming up next because I knew what the 11th song was. And it's not always like that in Spotify because I usually just hit random and let it go wherever it wants to go. But sometimes I get that feeling of, oh, I know what song is coming up next because it used to be on one of my old CDs when I was in the car, right? And I used to listen to them all the time. Mm-hmm. So one of the songs that came up this last week was a song called Set Adrift on Memory Bliss by PM Dawn. And I thought, man, I haven't heard that song in such a long time. And I went looking for my CD and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find, a copy of it that I had like copied onto my music folders on my hard drive. And I thought, well, that's weird. So I went on Spotify and I thought, okay, well, sure enough, I'll find it on Spotify. And I did, but it's not the same version.
Ooh.
It's a weird re-recorded version. I don't know why it's re-recorded, but the artist that created it passed away, like, I think in 2016 or something like that. And there was some weird, like, dispute or something where his cousin ended up with the rights of the song, re-recorded the songs, and re-released them.
Oh, jeez.
And
wow.
How do I say this nicely? They're different. And so I have been on the endless search to find my CD now so that I can put this on my playlist because it's weird. I mean, that song, I think it's a great song. It, like, whenever you listen to it, it's like, I don't know, it's like an out-of-body experience almost. I mean, don't quote me on that, but it's a great song. And I can't find it. It's been driving me crazy. But I told my wife this same story, and she's like, oh, I know. I went looking for that song not too long ago, and I heard what you heard, and it scared me. And it's not great. It's, yeah. So it's driving me crazy because all the ones that I've been finding are either remixes, they are different versions of the song. It's not like that original version that I remember from years ago. So the driving me crazy part, totally get it. Not being able to find it, totally get it. I'm with you on that one. But I'm going to help you find this one string instrument guy.
You know what I found? This French band person on YouTube. Apparently they're called Les Faux Plafons. Anyway, I'm still going to butcher it. I don't speak French. I'm like Joey, blue blah blah blue.
Blue.
Hey, you put an attempt. We'll give
you know
you that.
Anyway, so I just if you were on Discord Tuesday night, you get a little preview. I just posted it up on Discord. So it's ready to go. Floopity floop. Anyway.
That's such a funny episode. Oh, all right.
He's like, Je m'appelle. Floopity floo. I do like Swedish Chef. I don't know. That's why Friends, I don't really watch Friends that often, but or didn't when it was on, but I always say a moo point. I don't.
A moo point.
Yeah, like I don't say moot. It's a moo point.
It's a moo point. Yeah. I still
Because
say that too.
it's like a cow.
I love it.
Anyway,
All right, so that was a lot of music talk. I didn't think we were going to get that deep into it today, but we got more stuff to talk about. Let's see.
do we?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, we
Okay.
had the announcement of what Splash Mountain is finally going to be called. There was a lot of speculation about, I think I saw my favorite one, by the way, where people were speculating the name. I forgot who posted this. I'm going to try to find them. I saw it on Twitter, but someone said it should be called Princess and the Log.
Yeah.
And they missed on this one. Disney totally missed out on that name. But it's going to be called Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and it's going to open late 2024. We don't have a lot of information outside of the name and the date, but they did announce what Tiana's new look will be for the attraction. And instead of waiting for D23, they made the announcement at the Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans about a week or so ago. Your thoughts on the outfit, the name, and the weird, rah, that happened online again this last week after the re-announcement of something that was already going to happen?
Right. I think she looks great. Like, when I saw the outfit, I'm like, adventure. She could be part of the SEA. She could do this. She just looks fantastic. And again, I am a sucker for all things adventure and whatever that comes with it. So I'm excited. I didn't hear any of the hoop. I don't care, really. I bypassed that poof.
People,
But
yeah. Continue.
but she looks great. I mean, it's cool and more adventure, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. People are dumb. Tiana looks great. The name is fine. Everybody is complaining. Everybody. People on the internet were complaining, and they're like, well, they should have put Splash in there because everybody's going to call it Splash. It should be called Tiana's Bayou Splash. It was right there in front of them, and they should have did it. And I was like, that's the clunkiest name I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Tiana's
I don't know.
Bayou Splash.
Yeah,
What?
I still would have given it Princess and the Log.
It's 10 times better Princess in the Log. And a couple
man.
things. Okay, number one. The name Splash Mountain, if you don't know, I don't know if we've talked about this before, is named after the movie Splash. They were like, we want this ride to be called Splash. We want a Splash Ride, Michael Eisner. We want a Splash Ride. This movie's going to be great. And they said, no, that's dumb. So we'll just call it Splash Mountain and it'll be about all this other stuff. So that's where Splash Mountain came from. So what does that have to do with Princess and the Frog? Nothing. So why keep it? Disney has proven time and time again that they can retheme a ride, an attraction.
Mhm.
Sometimes it goes, in the recent history, not including under new management or whatever. But I thought that was fine anyway.
Or Winnie
But-
the Pooh.
Well, but that's not a retheme. Are you talking about Country Bears?
Yeah.
That's a knocking the whole thing down. That's a different thing. That's a replacement. So I mean, the biggest example we have in our vicinity is the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Everybody, I don't like the droppy rides, and I can see some people saying like that ride's more intense, and I can see that. But the retheming and the story and everything, everybody was like, "It's so good!" and
Yeah.
and everybody poo-pooed it when it was getting changed. How dare you take the Tower of Terror, that classic ride, that Twilight Zone that's owned by CBS, that classic Disney attraction, how dare they retheme it, and blah, 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 and everybody's grumpy about it. So what am I going on with this? The name is fine. Costume is cool. Stop complaining about everything. It'll be fine. And you're still going to go down and go splash, woohoo, and you get wet. and there's going to be animatronics, and there's going to be, songs, I'm sure, and there's going to be a boat, and you ride in it. Like, they're not spending, like, the most amount of money on this. They're keeping most of it all. Like, also, Splash Mountain is not a mountain anyway. It's called, what is it? Chickapin Hill, I think is what it's called. Yeah. And then Splash Mountain because Space Mountain. So it's fine. You lose a mountain out of the Disney Parks mountain range. Oh no, my heart is broken. Do I sound a little condescending to all these internet people that are grumpy about it? Like, calm down is all I have to say. It's gonna be fine. And it might get me on Splash Mountain again, or I'm sorry, Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Coming late 2024.
Because it's not a regular occurrence for me, because one, I'm not a big droppy guy, so whatever. I don't like getting wet. But I will go on it again if there's new stuff, because I can handle it. And if it's really cool, I might be able to handle it more often. But as it is, Splash Mountain is like a dilapidated ride that is always broken all the time and needs an update. So that's my opinion on it all. And stop complaining about it is what I have to say. I don't know.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I do feel that any time that I've had the opportunity to go on Splash Mountain in the last 10 years, almost everything has some kind of issue. Like, I don't think I've been able to ride all the way through where everything was functioning the way it was supposed to.
Like, what's all those dark spots over there?
Yeah, and it was kind of frustrating, right? Because, part of the attractions, especially at Disney, it is a little bit of the thrill, but it's always all the animatronics and the storytelling that go into the attraction itself. Like, if you just want straight roller coasters, go to Six Flags, right? Mm-hmm. And it was always disappointing that stuff like that was happening on the attractions. So I hope that there's enough invested into this attraction. Like, I know that there's been some budget things going on where attractions don't get everything they're supposed to. With Galaxy's Edge,
bonuses,
we didn't get exactly what we were supposed to. That was announced, and with Splash, converting over into adventure. I hope they take some of that money and they actually fix a lot of the issues, or make it so that, I don't know, that we get more projections that are easier to maintain than, animatronics that keep breaking down. Like, I'll even settle for that. Like, I know it's not a popular opinion to put a bunch of projection stuff in there, but there's a lot of dark areas where projections would work really well.
It's great for augmenting a background.
It is. It is fantastic for that, exactly. And I do believe that maintaining that type of technology is a little easier than maintaining a bunch of animatronics all the time.
You buy a new projector, pop it in there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hopeful, of all the upgrades or potential upgrades that are going to be coming to this attraction. I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out. We got the announcement, at this festival, but I hope when D23 rolls around this year, we get a lot more information about the attraction itself. So, it was just funny to me that this was already something that was happening. People knew about it, and then they were still up in arms about it. It's like, how dare they this, and how dare... I was like, you knew about this. We talked about this in episode 315. That was, like, clearly over 2 years now, and it is what it is. I think there's always going to be people that just aren't happy with some of the changes.
But it's Splash Mountain, and if there's not 4 mountains at Disneyland, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I don't know.
Make it a t-shirt.
Yeah, 3 mountains and whatever, Mama Odie's boat. I don't know what I think this one's going to be. I don't know.
I'm going to make a new t-shirt that has all of the mountains,
and
like a silhouette, and then a big X over Splash. New shirt.
The Disney Mountain Range.
Shop. Yep.
That's, I have to give them some credit that the title is not as clunky as most titles are nowadays for attractions. Nowadays, I sound like old man. Because you got Spider-Man, the whatever, : whatever. Like, it's Tiana's this, that. It's not Tiana's Bayou Adventure : the search for Ray's thing, And then we also do this thing. Like, it's too many words. 3 words, that's good.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Snow White's Scary Adventure, Ariel's Underwater Adventure. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
There's lots of adventure. Indiana
Exactly.
I do have to say my favorite attraction has a lot of words in it. Indiana Jones Adventure Temple of the Forbidden Eye. It's a very clunky name. It's not like it's the most inventive name in the world, but I love it anyway.
It works.
Well, if you have any thoughts on the retheming of Splash Mountain into Tiana's Bayou Adventure, join the conversation over on Instagram. You can leave a comment in the post for this episode. But honestly, we would love it if you join us over in our Discord. We have a small community that's growing. You can either click on the link that we have in our pinned Instagram story, or you can go to podketeers.com/420 for a link to sign up for Discord. Enter your email, enter your password, answer a couple questions. You'll be good to go. It's super simple to join us there. It's going to be interesting to see what happens the closer we get to this. I had a conversation with somebody about this on, I want to say it was in our Instagram messages. I forgot who I was having a conversation with about it. But we were going back and forth about how long. Oh, I know who it was with. It was with FGP member Brian. We were talking about
Brian,
how long we think it's going to take to close it down, and how long we think it's going to take, before they get everything done. What are your thoughts on this? But if it's opening late 2024, I'm thinking they're going to close it like January 2024, maybe February. That way they get the entire summer season.
January 2023.
No, I don't think it's going to be 2 full years. I think you need 6 to 8 months tops for everything. Because if they've already been thinking about this, you have to imagine that a lot of the structure that's going to change is being built already. All they're going to do is close it down, and they're going to attach a bunch of new stuff.
That's true. Compared to having to demolish and what they're doing with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, it shouldn't take as long. Because you're right. Because if they have everything, the structure,
I'm trying to
year?
find. Let's see. Hold on. Okay.
That should be a poll.
I want to look at.
Oh, that should be a poll. How long do you think it'll be down? Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to close down January, February 2024.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy, Tower of Terror, that closed, it looks like July 2016 and reopened May 2017.
Wait, when did it close?
It closed July 2016.
So about a year.
Opened May. Yeah, it was a year. But I think that was a lot less, I think, than what they're doing here at Splash Mountain. There's no animatronics to like.
I think it's more that they did for Mission Breakout. Because they changed the entire facade of Breakout.
Yeah, but no, they just glued stuff on and painted it.
That's my point here.
No, I'm saying Splash Mountain is a lot more to do.
No, I think it's less.
Oh, I think well, here's the thing. We're just speculating. I don't know how much they're putting in. Are they just putting in, taking out the Brer Bear and putting a Tiana in? Or are they taking all of the animatronics out, reskinning them, making them new, redoing the inside so it's not brown and making it all Bayou on the inside? It's a long attraction. It's not like it's short. It's always longer than I think. Every time I'm like, okay, here's a drop. Ooh, and that's the medium one. I'm like, oh yeah, there's like 40 more minutes of this thing.
That's a good point. But the only thing I'm seeing that's a difference is the technical part for Mission Breakout.
But it was just screens. They added screens. I mean, from my perspective anyway, it was like, okay, we added some screens and they changed it, went up and down, and then they painted a big black stripe on it and and make the queue cool. I mean, they did a good job. I'm not trying to like bash it or anything, but
of course.
just with the amount of animatronics that are in that attraction, just to refurbish those alone, to getting them all in working order, if that's what they're doing, if they're putting in new. This is the thing. We don't know. We don't really have any concept art other than the few pieces that have been released. So it's hard to speculate, but I would assume that they're going to be taking the interior, and just like it's going to get a whole new paint job, and it's swamp and it's bayou on the inside as opposed to all of the brown anthill or whatever it's supposed to be. I don't know, brown dirty dirt. And put some alligators and stuff in there.
Yeah.
And
floating
rain.
fireflies.
It'll be interesting as far as, because even the announced date for when it's going to open, it just says late 2024. And Princess and the Frog was released in December. So it would make sense that they open it as part of an anniversary pool, because then, take the movie out of the vault, do whatever you got to do. Right? So it makes sense that they would open it in December again to celebrate that. All right. Well, you make a lot of great points about how much they have to change. I think I was underestimating the length of the attraction, because you're right. Every time you think you're getting ready to end, like there's another corner you turn, and it goes on for like another 10 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm depending on how much they have done, because I'm speculating that they may have already started the process.
Oh yeah,
of,
for sure.
All of that in the background, and that they're just going to have a bunch of pieces that they're going to start like putting into place. So I'm thinking I'm going to stick to January 2024. As when I think they're going to shut it down, because they're going to try to squeeze as much as they can out of Splash Mountain, including all the plushies and the going away T-shirts and all that stuff, that they can squeeze out of it. So
during the holidays.
Exactly. So I'm sticking to January 2024, unless at D23 they give us like a full-blown concept and they say like, oh, it's closing tomorrow. We hope you enjoyed it. And then just like from one day to the next, they're like, sorry, it's closed already. Surprise!
That was kind of like what they did with Guardians. They're like, oh, by the way, it closed yesterday.
Exactly. So unless they pull something like that, I still feel it's going to be like January.
My prediction is, here's my actual prediction is what do I want to say? Like September 23. I'm going to say get the summer out of Splash, and then they close it as soon as like kids go back to school in 23.
Oh, no, but they want that money,
though. That's also a good one.
But they want that money, though.
What money?
I mean, I guess technically they can still make money on all the goodbye stuff while it's still there, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
But that gives us that's basically, a year and change from now is when it would close. And, I'm sure they're going to be announcing, like you said, D23, the farewell celebration of Splash Mountain, and they'll bring, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and they'll do the Splash Mountain rap from the... No?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I think we're going too deep into this one at this point. But, I mean, if they did that, that'd be super cool.
Also, lest we forget, I think there's supposed to be a Tiana show on Disney Plus at some point that maybe this is also tying in with. I think that was a thing. That was a thing. Am I making this up?
No, you're not making it up. It is a new series that's coming to Disney Plus, but I don't think we have a release date. All it said was in 2022. So
well, maybe it'll be in 2024 instead.
No,
or it's the preemptive storyline.
Yes, this is basically the comic book they released about the Black Spire Outpost before they opened up Galaxy's Edge. This TV show will be the precursor to the attraction, so that at the end you're like, now I'm going to finish the adventure. Okay.
Could be.
It's all making sense now.
In the morning, I'm making waffles. I don't know.
Are we going back to Stranger Things with the waffles? Is that where we're going?
No, exactly. I don't know. I got you some Eggos.
So many changes, but they look good so far. I mean, I'm hoping to get, like I said, more info at D23, but let's move on to other stuff, because there's a few other things I wanted to get your thoughts on, but one, Thor Love and Thunder comes out this weekend.
Where did the time go?
Yeah. Right? I mean, I feel like we blinked and it was Thor Love and Thunder when, just I don't know, maybe like yesterday it felt like WandaVision was just being released. But hey, maybe it was the Hadron Collider that CERN turned on and it kicked us into another dimension again. Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe we're all in the upside down and we just don't know it yet.
Well, there's a lot of people that might agree with you on that one. But Thor Love and Thunder coming out July 7th, I believe, is the release date. And I have to say that I very rarely want like popcorn buckets from movie theaters. There was only one exception that was, and I want to say thank you. Oh man, Mel, who gave us the popcorn buckets that we raffled off, and I got the Mickey, the Steamboat Willie popcorn buckets.
That was my friend Carla.
Carla, yes. So shout out to Carla, because in Mexico they released these awesome Steamboat Willie popcorn buckets. And not only did she send us one, she sent us one that we could auction off for Steamboat Willie. And so they always have these different popcorn buckets at AMC movie theaters, and I never really want them. Like, they had a Doctor Strange one recently that I thought, oh, that's kind of cool, like for Multiverse of Madness. And I almost went on the hunt to purchase one. But I have to say that the Mjolnir popcorn bucket that they're releasing looks pretty freaking awesome. Have you seen it yet?
I mean, I think so. I can imagine. If I haven't, I can imagine what it looks like. I'm guessing it looks like Mjolnir.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
You nailed it.
Hey, good job, me.
See if I can bring it up.
I'm actually looking for it right now. I just haven't had a chance to look at different things. So
this is what it looks like.
I do know that when you talk about a really good, like, cool looking popcorn bucket, it is good. So,
that looks like Mjolnir on like a rock, and there's popcorn
that's
inside.
Cool.
So you can't see it, folks, but it looks like, Thor's hammer. He's got a hammer. He used to have a hammer. Now he's got this like axey thing. It looks like that.
Stormbreaker.
But
there's those you can get on a farm though. Remember?
Yeah, you plant them in. And
you just plant them. Yeah, those are easy.
And then it's sitting on the ground, and then you hold the handle and you open it up. There's popcorn inside.
Yeah. So the top of Mjolnir and the handle release so that you can put your popcorn in. I remember reading somewhere that they're going to be about $40 though. And if that is the case, I might think twice about getting it.
And then
if
get
I
it anyway.
If I do get it, I think it's going to be one of those collectibles that we might be able to auction off. I don't know. You're right. I feel like if I got it, I'm still going to get one for myself. Thor is not my favorite Avenger by any means, but I kind of like how Mjolnir looks. And, now that I'm setting up a few things around in my office, I feel like it's a nice little piece that could, be on display.
Oh, yeah.
The only bad thing is that it doesn't, it looks like it's in rubble, like you said, like it looks like it's in a pile of rocks. If you lift it, all the rocks come with it. Like, it doesn't detach from the rocks or anything. So it looks kind of weird. So, I mean, I'm stuck in this weird place, right? Because I could technically get the popcorn bucket, but then I could also probably go on Amazon and find a Mjolnir for around the same price that won't have the rubble. And I can kind of like fling it around and be like, yeah, I guess who's worthy, punk?
And then you whack yourself in the head and knock stuff off the shelf.
That'd be horrible. So I don't know. We'll see. Depending on what the cost is, I might get one for the collectible aspect or to auction off. But it looks nice. If you can get one. The other thing that I heard was just like the Doctor Strange thing, when they released that popcorn bucket, they only had one case per movie theater. And each case had like 24 maybe.
Oh. So
if you were lucky enough to be one of the 3 people that bought them all and put them on eBay that day, good luck. But anyway, just thought I would bring it up. July 7th, I think, is the day that popcorn bucket gets released. Check your local AMC if you're interested in getting one. Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah. That's when Minions is going to get knocked out of the rankings for the box office, right?
Okay. Can we talk about Minions for a second? Because look, it is insanely dominating the box office right now. It opened at 117 million. As of today, it's at like 125.1 million. Worldwide, 216. Okay. and Lightyear is sitting over there at like, I don't know, 160 or something.
So Lightyear made 50 million opening weekend. Right now, domestically, it's sitting at 106, worldwide 190. So yeah, not a little disappointment for them. And yeah, the Minions have a very clear branding. They are the Minions, and they say banana. And that's all they do, and they're the Minions.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
But you know what? What really what really did help was the promo that they did when they mixed The Office with the Minions, and that was going viral.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's also
hey.
just the Minions. Like it's
Yeah.
every like mom that I'm friends with on Facebook has like 90 Minions memes that are on, I just can't wait to do anything until I have my coffee, and it's a Minion in like a dress, like a house coat and slippers or something.
Yeah.
The Minions have become like the like Nancy or something from the comics, or Garfield. They're not Garfield anymore. It's Minions, and they just put Minions in whatever clothes and just you can put a Minion on anything, and I guess people will buy it, including a Minion movie.
So I'm glad that you brought that up, because a lot of the success of the Minion movie so far is being attributed to the fact that Universal has not been litigious about people using the Minions in memes or in different applications in real life. Mm-hmm. Now, compare that to a company like Disney, who, if you have Mickey or, any other characters, they will, they are very litigious about it. And, rightfully so, it is their character and everything. But the way that Universal has allowed Minion Mania to just spread around the world, like, it's insane how, like you said, like everywhere you turn, there is some kind of meme. There's a birthday cake. There's a piñata. There's like all sorts of Minions things that Universal isn't making any money on, right?
Illumination.
But this release spawned all sorts of weird trends on Twitter, where some of them were kind of out of hand, but there were these groups of kids that were dressing up in business suits and everything, and they were like going in droves to watch this film together. The ones where where they got out of hand, they were like throwing bananas at the screen and everything, and don't do that.
That's not cool.
That's those things are expensive. Those are not
Jill,
easy to.
Don't throw bananas at the screen.
She's probably laughing.
But
I know it was you.
But the fact that Universal has allowed this to happen, it's gained this organic traction that you don't see very often with characters like this. And, that has a lot to do with it. Aside from the fact that, it's a pretty decent franchise, and they've also become kind of like the de facto mascot of Universal Studios. Like, if you go to Universal Studios, there's Minions on everything.
It used to be like Shrek, and now it's Minions.
Yeah. And like you said, all these little vignettes and everything that they're doing, they're great. That Office one that they did was freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
But the charm of the Minions is that they can get away with stuff like that. Like, you can't do... I think with the new Mickey Mouse shorts, I think you can get away with a little bit more, because that style of Mickey is a little more mischievous. It kind of goes back to like the early Mickey shorts and the Mickey cartoons. Mm-hmm. But like, you can't... Like, I don't think you can get away with as much stuff with like new Mickey, Donald, Goofy, like as you can with the Minions. And
100%.
I don't know. I think they're in for a lot of trouble if they can't renew Mickey's copyright in 2024, which
you got Mickey Minions.
We're gonna get Mickey
saying?
Minions, yeah. As soon as that happens, we're getting Mickey Minions. I mean, I'm sure Disney's gonna do whatever they can to extend that, because they don't want to lose the Mickey copyright. But if for some odd reason that doesn't go through, and they're like, nah, Mickey's public domain now, we're going to see all sorts of Minion Mickey stuff.
I want to see shorts.
Little red shorts.
That's funny.
But the minions, like, by design are like the perfect, like, thing to put in an animated film. They are, like, indestructible. They speak a nonsense language. And there's just a plethora of these in different shapes and whatever. It kind of, like, harkens back to, like, the Looney Tunes in, like, in Hanna-Barbera, where it's like, okay, just smash him on the head with a mallet, and the Wile E. Coyote gets flattened, and then whatever, like, and then back to work, kind of thing. So it really has that old cartoon feel, but it's also, bringing it into the the present time, and everybody just eating it up, and whoever came up with the minions is probably sitting pretty right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or they got screwed on a contract and they drew up the minions and didn't get any money. There's two sides of that coin.
Not the case. Oh, I sure hope that's not the case.
Now we have to do a deep dive on the guy who made the minions.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Did they get a lot of money?
I hope so. Well, I mean, I've been talking about going to watch Lightyear for the last couple weeks, and it's still on my list of things that I want to watch. But the last couple weeks, weren't feeling well, and then, stuff happened, and so we weren't able to go. But I think the next film that we're going to end up watching isn't going to be Lightyear. I think it's going to be Minions. Like, at this rate, I think I might wait to watch Lightyear after we watch Minions. And the funny thing is that I keep hearing people talk about Minions, and they're like, it's just kind of an okay movie. It's not out of the ordinary, or it's not extraordinary in any way. It's just kind of an okay kids movie. So, but, like, they're mischievous. It's kind of fun to watch them get into all their little shenanigans. So
it's like slapstick and vaudeville and everything, just you can do whatever with them. They're a blank slate, and that's I'm assuming probably by design.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
And designed by somebody named Pierre Coffin.
Oh, interesting.
He's French. We got a lot of French people on this episode.
Does he make music from Crazy Instruments?
With hamburger patties and stuff? Yeah. I don't know. Minions might, though.
Oh, that's right? What they should do, see? Anybody could do that, and I bet you Universal or Illumination Studios would be like, we got to promote this. This is awesome.
Exactly.
All right. Well, once I finally watch it, I'll let you know what I think about it. It's probably going to be the next film that we go watch. Hopefully this weekend. Crossing my fingers that things work out and we get a chance to go watch it. Maybe we can sneak in a double feature and watch Lightyear. Yeah, I mean, at this rate, I'm probably going to end up watching Lightyear when it's on Disney+.
That's kind of how I feel, too. I'm more excited to see Thor, and that's going to be out this weekend, and I could just get tickets to that and go see that instead.
Yeah.
And it's, we talked about Lightyear. I'm not going to reiterate my feelings on Lightyear. So,
can I tell you something, though? You know how we've been going to the drive-in to watch films recently?
Uh-huh.
So the last one that we saw was Multiverse of Madness. And while I love going to the drive-in, I love the fact that I feel a little safer, being out in the open inside of my car or whatever, than being inside of a movie theater. There is something that is lost on the movie screen because it's a lot dimmer than inside of an actual building where it's all dark and it's like, light, it's lit up nicely and everything. And so now that Multiverse of Madness is finally on Disney Plus, I watched it again. Oh my God. It's so good. Like, it's so vibrant. It was so good. I feel like I was watching it for the first time again. I can't even begin to describe it. Like, I very rarely feel or get that feeling of surprise, and even knowing what was happening, just watching it again brightly lit on a TV, like in our dark living room, like, it was so good. I enjoyed it a lot. A lot of what I said when we did the breakdown and we did the spoiler-filled episode on Patreon still stands. Because a lot of that was still there. It just looks so much nicer. So I think the same thing is going to happen with this one, because same thing happened with Spider-Man. When Spider-Man was available, I went back and watched it, and it was so good all over again. So, all right, well, I think we're reaching the end of the episode.
Wait, no, not the end of the episode.
Well, we got a couple more things to talk about, but we're reaching the end.
No, okay, but before we get to the end, Hazen, we have to thank those, special group of listeners. They're called the Minions, and their names are Bob and Stuart and Kevin, and they help us out with a contribution.
Well, I'll tell you this much. None of those names are actually a part of the FGP Squad, so I can't thank the Minions, but you know who we can thank? The FGP Squad!
Oh, okay. Yes. I like those guys, the FGP Squad.
The FGP Squad.
Almost as good as the Minions. No, I'm just kidding. They're better than the Minions.
They're way better than the Minions.
Way better.
So the FGP Squad is an awesome group of listeners that help us out with a monthly contribution via Patreon. If you want more info on how you can become part of the FGP Squad family, you can head over to podketeers.com/FGP for more information. There you will find a list of some of our top contributors that don't include Bob or Kevin or any of the Minions.
They could. Hey, is your name Stuart?
Unless your name is very similar to a Minion, then yes, it can end up on that list as well.
You can join the FGP Squad. There's no bans on people named Kevin and Stuart.
That's very true. Very, very true.
You can join.
But yeah, you'll find a list of some of our top contributors, a list to our Patreon, and a little info on the FGP Squad itself. So if you have any other questions about it, just send us a message. We'll be happy to help you out with that. But you do get some additional perks being a part of the FGP Squad family. You get a special section on our Discord server, get access to additional content on our Patreon. You get access to our happy hour calls, random giveaways, all sorts of stuff, just to name a few. But again, any questions, hit us up. And, of course, to all of the members of the FGP Squad and maybe a couple of the Minions, we just want to send a huge thank you for your continued support. So, a couple more things. Since we're talking about movies, I do want to talk about this. I saw this article about this house in Florida that was for sale. And it's a mansion. It's this really huge house selling for chump change. I think it was like $15 million. Okay. Most people can find that in their couch cushions, but common mansion, right? Bunch of rooms, 17 bathrooms, big old swimming pool, barbecue area and everything. But really the selling point of this house is the movie room that they have. Their entire movie room is themed to the inside
Minions.
Of the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, not the Minions.
And it looks crazy cool.
Like, you saw these pictures, and it's like crazy. Somebody had some time on their hands and or money on their hands.
Both.
Yeah, probably both. I don't know if I would even want to watch a movie in there. Like, I just want to sit there and kind of look at it and do Smuggler's Run or something in there. Like that. It looks like you could. It's crazy.
If there was a restroom, I would probably not leave that room. Easily.
And you flush the toilet and it sounds like Chewbacca.
Yes.
That'd be funny.
That would be awesome. Like, this room is spectacular. Like, details. Ooh, if you guys been on Smuggler's Run, if you guys been on Rise, you guys know the details that are on that attraction. So take that and put that in a home theater, in someone's home. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Yeah, it just needs a bathroom. I would never leave.
And it looks
Ever.
like they're fans of Disney popcorn buckets as well. Because if you look on their bar, there's like
of course
there's some popcorn buckets in the corner, and there's a Grogu, and there's a Mickey in a sweater. Like, there's all kinds of stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of buttons too.
It's like they have Oga's Cantina in the back, and then in the front, it's all like Millennium Falcon. But the cool thing is that I don't know if this happens, right? But if all of what look like screens around the main TV screen can serve like to extend the picture of what's on screen, imagine playing a video game on that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what's up on the screen right now.
Your Animal Crossing would be fantastic, Andrew.
That friggin' Tom Nook, man.
That thief.
That freaking what's her name? Lottie over at the Happy Home Academy paying me in company script instead of bells. Like, what gives, man?
Yeah.
I just want to know, like, no, I'm not even going to ask. I'm going to imagine. I'm going to imagine that these stars that you're seeing, that they could go light speed. Like
Oh,
I
that'd be
just
so cool.
can that like you just all you would need again restroom and one of those chairs that move with the movies set.
Oh,
Like
like a
4D.
4D?
Star Tours.
Yeah, like a 4D.
There you go. Yes.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
And then rent it per the hour. There you go. Make your money back.
What?
You got to do what all these friggin' videos they see on TikTok where they're like, what you have to do is you buy a house and then you put it on Airbnb and then you charge $8 million a night and people stay there and you make your money back in 2 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Airbnb is in, I don't think that's going to happen, but...
I get all my financial advice from TikTok and I have $4.
Same. Me too.
And you know what?
I'm up to $6.24
living
now.
pretty.
So yeah, for those that follow us on Discord already, I did post the images of the screening room. It is a sight to see. I mean, again, just like we were talking about earlier with the music thing, even if you're not a fan of Star Wars, like you can appreciate the work that went into creating this because it is super detailed, super amazing. Like if this was the type of thing we had at Galaxy's Edge where you could just like go and, have a meal, like, because don't they have, what's the restaurant at Walt Disney World where you can sit down and watch a movie? The 50s restaurant.
Sci-fi
dine-in.
Yeah.
Yes.
What if you had something like that here, right? I think if this is what the Galactic Star Cruiser promised.
There you go.
I think
it's like sci-fi dining, but everybody's in speeders instead.
Yes.
Like, is that like?
I mean, I think Disney can take some inspiration from this movie room, and change a few things up and get more people going to the Star Cruiser.
For a low price of $3,000.
Yes.
Per person.
Per person for one night.
Per person.
But per night, exactly.
Yep.
Well, but they're making a Lego movie that's a commercial for this, so it might get some more people to go.
Oh.
Maybe.
Well, maybe they should play the Lego Star Wars thing in this movie room.
Maybe.
Rent it out for $18
cool.
million on Airbnb.
Perfect. You know what? It makes sense. It's on TikTok. It's got to be true. Like, I don't know.
That's funny.
Can you tell I don't use TikTok?
I don't either. Ever. Never on there. Never at all.
Never. Heyzen is shifting his eyes a lot.
What? Who's shifting his eyes? What are you talking about? What?
Okay, whatever.
Hey, since we were talking about Discord, I just posted those images, but I want to send a quick shout out to FGP Squad member Heather because she posted the Haunted Mansion Lego set that we were speculating about. It's legit, y'all. It's happening.
Yeah.
We're getting it August 1st, 2022 for the low price of $39.99. This Haunted Mansion Lego set, the first official Haunted Mansion set available. It's coming. It's coming.
And you get that butler that looks really tired.
He does look tired.
He looks so tired.
How many pieces is it? I think it's like just under
More
700,
than 4.
right?
It is
I want to say it was just under 700 pieces for the whole thing.
680.
Yeah.
You know what? They could have
Yeah.
taken some pieces out of that and made it 666. Like, come on. Or they could have added some pieces and made it $9.99. Like, we're right on the
Something.
thing.
I'm glad you
Like,
said that.
right
Right?
there. Like, I would pay an extra $10 for those extra pieces or whatever, if it had 999 pieces. Like,
Or if it was
I don't know.
$99.90.
that's too expensive. I'd pay
Yeah, but
$59.
If it had almost 1,000 pieces, I mean, it's not much more than what's on there now, but that's a pretty
Yeah,
significant.
That's fine. 999 pieces, and it's $9.99. Even better.
Because I think the Millennium Falcon is 130, and that one's
1,000.
1,300 pieces.
But that's like the small one?
That's the small
or
one.
the middle
yeah.
one? Okay, that's
Yeah.
the small one.
No, the other one is massive. Like the smaller version
4
of it is
billion pieces.
like about 1,300 pieces. Yeah. So I mean, if they priced it, at 99, and it was 1,000 pieces, and it gave us a nice Haunted Mansion structure, that's legit. Like that's around the price of what Lego goes for anyway.
Yeah,
structure. Outside, the horse. I mean,
you got Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Give us the cute. I mean,
little Hatbox
give us
Ghost, a
some
Dune
more
buggy,
minifigs. Yeah,
some little
like
connects
whatever.
or something, or some kind of Lego like structure that makes a little moving belt, and you can add the Dune buggy
Something.
and crank it, and it moves around. Maybe a
Spider
little.
webs.
Maybe a little module that you can add that has the music to it. Why aren't we
This
on the
would've been
marketing team?
That weird
Right?
curtain that if you go around the back that covers the break room.
Yeah.
The little
And
mailbox in the back.
that birdhouse that they added that everybody got mad about.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
See, this is the time where we would actually want to give more money in this case.
Yeah.
If they had the pieces.
Let me spend more money.
Why do
Right.
you hate fun? So yeah, I love it. I'm glad that this is finally happening. It doesn't compare, obviously, to the sets that we talked about, in the last episode. But hey, it's a start. I think this could be like a really great starter Haunted Mansion, and then later on they could be like, here's the Haunted Mansion deluxe set as heard of on Podketeers. And then they can release like everything, you're welcome, marketing team. We just gave them everything they needed for the next
all the
deluxe set,
time.
yeah.
How are we not just like, how is like Disney Parks just not a subset section of Lego at this point? Like, I don't know. They have the castle and they have the train. Like, they should just be having a whole line. People like us, and there's plenty of people like us, would be buying these off the shelves.
Yeah.
And then people that we don't like would be buying them and selling them on eBay, but they would still be making money either way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, where's my Indiana Jones Lego thing?
People mover.
Where's
Yeah.
Big
I
Thunder
mean-
Mountain Railroad?
Hey.
Man, if
Churro Cart.
Oh, that would be a fun
Churro Cart would be awesome. All right, well, we're just spitting out ideas. We gotta.
Petrified Log.
We have to. we have to start sending them a list of what we want to see. Imagine. Look, I'm not saying this facetiously either. Imagine a line of Lego Disney trash cans.
I can
Okay.
imagine it.
I mean,
Yes.
you know how popular? There's an Instagram account for the Disney trash cans, okay?
You can buy them on like
Yeah,
as salt
look,
shakers,
see?
right?
I mean,
It's- yeah.
obviously
I have
the people
one.
listening can't see this, but Mel has a
Oh my
little
God.
tiny trash can.
I do from Main Street because yes. I
Right?
mean, why not?
There-
And it's like a salt shaker, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could get like little Lego Disney trash cans, like they'd make bank off of those things. And you don't even have to
Yep.
package them in full Lego boxes. Box them in the little boxes or like the bags that like the
bags,
Wishables
yeah.
come
The
in or
Ziploc
something
baggies,
like
yeah.
Yeah, again, you're welcome, Disney marketing team. We're giving you gold here.
Well, I mean, it's like that. What's that thing? I always screw the name up. Olszewski, Olkowski, Mike Wazowski, whatever. Whoever made those, the Disney, like the parks, and it's the whole Main Street and everything, and
Oh man.
they're like the models. You know that I'm
Yes,
talking about.
yes.
Mike Wazowski made them, or whoever.
Yeah.
Like, you could do that, but with Lego. Like, you got the train station already. Okay, now we got the firehouse and the opera house and the penny arcade and da-da-da-da-da. And the weird half Jolly Holiday tiki room building.
Man, I
Like,
would
come
love
on.
that.
Yeah.
If they had just like lands or different buildings where you could recreate Disneyland, like on an official capacity. Because let's face it, there's tons of creators on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram that have built these amazing Main Street setups. They've built the castle. On top of that, they've even added projections to simulate the fireworks shows and everything. I mean, that, talk about creators. I love when people get creative with stuff like that. And I get so excited watching people come up with this type of stuff or creating things on the 3D printers or like the artists that are creating music on random objects, right? I just love
Mhm.
people being creative. And a lot of these Lego sets, maybe they do it because they want them to be simple enough for anybody to put them together. Maybe they do it to save money. Maybe they just don't care enough or something and they just kind of put something that's similar. But there are people that are really passionate about this. And so when you compare like the Casita set that we talked about before, or the one that, won all those awards, by that creator we recently talked about, those are the people that need to be hired to put this stuff together. Those are the people that, like, even if you don't hire them full time, give them some kind of bonus or something for coming up with the blueprint of what it should look like. And then scan it, and then you have all the pieces that you need, because there are tools where you can do that.
And then after they make all of the Disney current attractions, and you get past attractions, the pack mules
Vintage
as
Disney.
Lego.
Oh, dude, if
Come
I could
The bathrooms. Dude,
okay.
the bathrooms.
We're breaking into some of my favorite attractions that I never got to be on.
What if you could have a schmoozies building as Lego?
That's what everybody's just...
Attractions from the past.
That's what everybody just wants. I want the sun wheel.
Right?
Soap opera cafe.
Oh, boy.
All right, I think we're breaking into delusional territory like we have in previous episodes because it's late. So I think we're going to end on that
Burger invasion. The dinosaur with sunglasses on it.
Dude, that was awesome. They should have never gotten rid of that. That should have just maintained. They could have renamed him Arlo, repainted him, and Arlo's Sunglass Hut would have been like the next big thing.
I think, California Adventure 1.0 is like perfect to be built out of Lego. I don't know. Like, it's everything. You got train, you got all kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to end there, but California 1.0. California Adventure 1.0. Superstar Limo.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's where we draw the line. You've taken it too far now.
Cream.
You've taken it too far now.
The thing where they had tractors there.
Boom. There. What was it? The California farming area that then became Bugs Land.
Bountiful Valley
and then Avengers
Farms.
Campus. All right, that's a good place to end the episode. So if you have any thoughts on anything that we talked about, join us over on Instagram or on our Discord server. We'd love for you to join the community. And that's it. So until next time, keep dreaming, keep moving forward, and always remember to pass on the magic. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Bye.
See ya. And then now I'm going to list all of the names of the minions. Okay, we got Bob, Carl, Darwin, Dave, Frank.
Part of the Podketeers Network.
John. No, Kevin.
Ken.
Lance. Larry. There's so many. Mark. Mike. Norbert. Paul. Phil. Steve. Stuart. Tim. Tom. Chris. Mel. Jorge. Donnie. Gru. Oh, wait. No, the list ended. Oops.